And a happy Saturday to everybody. I am your host for the day. I'm Randy, and I have no Brandy. She's off doing her thing this weekend and next weekend. She's doing whatever she does. And we're just doing a special little BS session today, pretty much with some older stuff that we've gone over before. And I'm bringing in a special guest referee, as us wrestling fans would like to say. Uh, but this is my daughter. She is currently in Brighton, England, and she will be giving another take. And y'all think I'm a scientist? I don't hold a candle. Okay, this is my daughter Abigail.
Hi, I'm here to heckle and
Yes.
be a skeptic.
You guys out in the actual chat knew her as Aggie Joy. She goes out there by, and now we've got her on here to throw in a couple of her opinions on some stuff we've gone over. So there's no set timetable. We just decided to throw this together and say, let's have a blast with it. But before we get going, I'm going to try and go down the list of shows that Brandy would always go down. Of course, on Monday nights we got 7 o'clock. This is all Central Time, mind you. 7 o'clock we have the Diva Dimension, and at 8 o'clock we have Texas Front Porch. On Tuesday nights we have Beyond BMR with Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Then, of course, on Wednesday nights we have Donnie Cho Says Stuff, which is our unfiltered and unabashed grab at everything that Donnie wants to talk about. So be ready for some cuss words in there, probably, most likely. And then behind that, we have Inhumanoids of Barton Unley. And on Thursday nights, we have, we're going to have a new one start up with Monica Rollins, and she's going to have Our Paranormal World. And then behind that, we've got the Blondes and Boos podcast. Friday nights starting at 7 o'clock, we have the Blondes and Boos and the Woo. Followed behind that, they have Josh Turner and his Paranormal Roundtable goes as well on his channel as well. Saturdays, we don't usually have anything, but like I said, we'll throw something out like we are today right now. Come Sunday, though, 5 o'clock, regular Truth of Tinfoil, 6 o'clock, Infamous Minds, and then we start it all over again. There. I did it. I hope Brandy is okay with me on that one. But, all right, Abby, give us an idea about your scientific background, since I'm a scientist and you're a scientist, and we kind of look at things a little bit differently sometimes.
My scientific background? Are you talking about my bachelor's degree?
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I focus on just the scientific stuff. STEM major in astronomy, so I'm not gonna let people bullshit their way through things.
Shh.
Sorry. BS. Sorry.
Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Anyway, it's not said for children anyway, so if you ever hear a little bomb like that come every so often, don't hate us. Anyway, all right, so Abby's in Brighton. She's actually studying cosmology right now at the University of Sussex in Brighton, right?
Yep. Specifically focusing on the cosmic microwave background.
Okay. All right, so she's a scientist. I'm a scientist, okay, but I'm that healthy skeptic guy, that everybody's got to have around to keep everybody straight. So as we go along, we're going to look at everything, and we're going to see her view on some of the stuff that we've done before. Now, we're going to start off with a picture from one of the first episodes we did. This was probably the first one me and Brandy did together, honestly. And we started out right off the bat, because if I tell people, if you're in the paranormal world and you don't know this photo, you're not a paranormal investigator at all. So what do we have here, Abby?
The Ghostville from the Amityville. Ghost Boy from the Amityville.
Okay, from the Amityville house, right?
Yeah, and I remember pretty much everything I know about it is what you've told me about it.
Well, that's pretty much true. I mean, there were some rumors about that a newspaper person took it, or a newsroom person, cameraman took it. The way I understood it, though, it wasn't the newsroom; it was the actual assistant of Ed and Lorraine Warren who set the camera up and took that picture. So, but this was captured by essentially Ed and Lorraine Warren. And if anybody's ever hunted ghosts or been a paranormal investigator of any kind, they're the know all and be all. I don't care what anybody says. You can sit there and talk till you're blue in the face. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'd take what Ed and Lorraine Warren, Ed and Lorraine especially, over just about anybody with a K2 meter or EMF detector or whatever in their hand. If Ed said it's there, I'm going to say it's there.
See, I'm more inclined to believe Lorraine more than Ed.
And why is
that? Well, I mean, she's the sensitive.
She's a sensitive.
She's the one who knows if it's there, and even Ed is like, if she thinks there's something there, then there is.
Yeah, but Ed is the more scientific of the two. He called himself
true.
a demonologist.
Yes.
He's the one that coined the term demonologist.
Mm-hmm. But even if you don't know anything about paranormal, you pretty much know this photo. At least everyone I've met knows it.
Now, I'm going to give what we didn't give before. I'm going to give you first. I'm going to give you the little blow up right here. As you can see, the boy's face being blown up right at the original photo, and then the blow up of the face. I to this day, I'm still at a loss because that photo right there, it's like the Patterson-Gimlin film to me. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that, but then you sit there and you go to wrong one. Nope, wrong one. Good Lord, I went the wrong way with it. Hang on, time out, guys. Time out, guys. We got it here.
Nope, wrong one.
Wrong one. Where's it at? I know I brought it over. Hang on. We will fix this. See, this is why I did this today, so I could have fun with it and screw up stuff all over the place.
You spoiled it for them.
Oh, trust me. They've seen a lot worse on this channel probably already. So, okay. So there's the actual description. Okay. Professional photographer Gene Campbell. Gene Campbell was the assistant of Ed and Lorraine Warren at the time.
Mm-hmm.
One frame, as you can see, one frame out of all of them that was done. And that's what the little DeFeo boy that was murdered in 1969, I believe it was. Looks like a dress. Okay, well, let's see here. Hang on. We'll go back to the one I want to go to then. See what Ristel was saying about looks like a dress. Let's see here. All right, Ristel. So you're saying that looks like a dress behind there. Of course, this is enhanced here. Don't get me wrong. This one right here is enhanced.
Mm-hmm. See, I thought it was just a pajama set because I'm pretty sure he was murdered by was it his older brother?
Yes, it was his older brother, Ron LePeo Jr.
Yeah, and I think the whole family was like in their sleep. So I always thought it was just like a set of pajamas, like dinosaur or something on it.
And Ristel says that also eye shine and reflection looks like off of glasses in a close up. I don't see glasses there, but let's see what we've got here on the close up side. I think it was this back way here. On this one, I don't see glasses really though. I guess what I see what you're saying. It could be just a reflection off of some glasses. But once again, we're talking about paranormal investigators who've already cleared the house. There's, according to everybody that was there, there's nobody else in this house when this was being taken. None, especially kids. Yeah, and he's right. I mean, the Ristel's right. It could be pajamas through it because they were murdered in their sleep.
Mm-hmm.
He went in, DeVeo Jr. went in there, and he murdered all of them in their sleep, starting with the older ones, and walked his way down to the younger ones. What's up, Rob? I see Rob's out there now too. So as you can see, this is still probably one of the best examples that I've ever seen of capturing paranormal with a camera. And this was done
Mhm.
long before digital or any of the other avenues. This is straight out film. So if something goes on film, you don't get a whole lot of pixelation, even with a blow up like you're seeing right here. You don't see a real pixelation there. You see a fuzzing of the lines because the TV lines that are used in this kind of photo are blurred then at that point because they're expanded too much. So
Yeah, I don't think I've actually even ever questioned the validity of this picture based on how much it's gone through.
yeah, I'm with you on that. There's just no way, no shape that I would ever think that this is unreal. Is not real, I should say. It's unreal the way they caught it, and to this day, and like I said, I've ran into 100 or more paranormal, quote unquote, paranormal investigators on YouTube itself that have come up, and I asked them, what did they? The first question I ever asked them, what do you think about the Amityville picture? I got probably about 60 to 70% of them will look at me and say, what Amityville picture? And the minute they say that, you have lost every bit of credibility with me. Not just a little bit,
Yeah.
every bit of it. It's the most iconic photo. I mean, like I said, it is on the level of Patterson Gimlin to me.
Like I said, even people that I talk to that don't really follow any paranormal stuff, still, when I show them this photo, they're like, "Oh yeah, that one."
Yeah, because everybody, it seems like, has seen it at one point or another. So this one does not get any kind of tinfoil at all. All right,
Yep, agreed.
so we're going to go ahead and pull this one. We're going to have some fun now. I'm actually going to bring up a TikTok video. Now, Brandy urged me to do this, so I'm kind of went out and I got on TikTok. Of all things I never wanted to do in my life, I got out on TikTok and I started looking through it. And of course, Crypto University, I love their stuff. I mean, TikTok videos are people playing with video as far as I'm concerned. But some of the stuff they have out there is very fun to kind of look through and go and look at and watch. Because some of you are just like, oh my God, where do you idiots come from? And others are like, whoa, where did that come from? And how come I haven't seen that before? This is not one of them. I've seen this one before, but I'll let you guys kind of give me your own take on it because it's too, to me, you're looking at what people are thinking is one thing and then it turns out I think is another. Okay. So we've seen pretty much what's happening there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I'm going to try and catch it right at the right spot here. You're the guy saying, oh my God. Obviously, they did their own little. But when he comes around to it, that looks like a figure staring out from behind that tree, doesn't it? I'm gonna go ahead and mute that so we don't have to listen to it, but we can still see the video. Okay, so you see the figure sticking out behind a tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Moon's got what I think. Okay, as you can see, he comes around. The minute he gets to where he could actually get really close to it, it disappears. Okay, and I'm gonna pull this sight back. Okay, one frame really, and he disappears. He literally goes out, but there's nowhere for him to be. There's nowhere for that big of a picture of a being behind that small of a tree, there's nowhere for it to go. You have to be able to see it coming out the backside.
Yeah, it just vanishes. Just
So what does that lead you to believe? I think Ristel had it right. Or no, Moon. Sorry, Moon had it right. It's a
like a
shadow
shadow
figure.
man.
It's a shadow figure, and the shadow's
Mm-hmm.
running. Okay, so if the shadow's running, where did it run to? Where did it go to? There's just nowhere for it, you know?
The shadow
Get it back up here.
realm.
There's no
See,
spot on that window. There's no spot for it to actually, you know, I guess I'm just, this one confounds me a lot because I've seen a lot of people pan through woods and catch shadows and look at shadows and such like that, and thinking it's oh, I just caught a Bigfoot, or I just caught a wood nymph, or I caught a leprechaun. I don't know what half of them put out there anyway, but the vast majority of them, when you pan through fast, you can attribute to shadows in the actual undergrowth. But this one, there is no shadow in the undergrowth. That thing is there. I mean, it is a solid. To me, it's a solid apparition. It's a solid shadow person.
and I can even see where like a massive hoax could be set up just to easily like do a cardboard cutout, but there's like you can see behind it, and there's nothing like no jerry
Yeah,
rigging or anything.
and as you can see, there's Bristol got that. I mean, it's like a Bigfoot, look, peeking behind from behind a tree, but there's nowhere for that massive body to go. There's nowhere for it to go. And this has made its rounds out on the web for a while now. I mean, I don't know any other information about it other than what I got when I got on TikTok to grab it. And because once again, I don't never go on TikTok usually, and I broke down and joined. Yay me!
You've
But
officially been on TikTok longer than me.
yeah, well, but if you look at it once again, it is hiding, is what it looks like. And look how big it looks right there. There's nothing behind there to generate a shadow. Nothing. There's nothing behind it to generate any kind of shadow that I can see. In fact, I don't see any shadows of anything. So I'm thinking there's no sun hardly at all.
It's it's very weird. Like, and it's something like in the middle of the woods, anything that happens that's unexplainable like this is automatically like creepier or
Yeah, yeah. I
um
mean, and if he's out there
so
by himself, you can bet that dude is scared. You know what? He's doing things in his pants he don't want to talk about.
we need to strap
So,
everyone with like high quality body cams.
well, yeah,
Um,
until everybody can, it's getting more affordable. People are starting to do that more often. So, but once again, we're still dealing with movement. You lose all that megapixel and all. It depends on the shutter speed. It depends on the capture speed of the actual sensor. So you're not talking about just changing. Oh, we're gonna make it higher definition. That don't mean nothing if you ain't got the stuff there to capture it at the speed it needs to be caught at. It's still gonna be a blur, no matter how you look at it.
mhm. See, I'm not sure how much you know about like online scary stories, like the Reddit has r/no sleep or anything like
Once
that.
again, I don't do a whole lot of Reddits either. So
Um, but there is quite a few like stories of usually it's anecdotal, like um, wildlife rangers at national parks and stuff like that, and like unexplained disappearances and realms and stuff like that. And so it just makes me think of in that same topic. Um,
yeah,
if you want something creepy, you could look up the random staircases in the woods. That has its own
yeah,
thing
no,
around it.
I have to think about that one. Moon's got a good question. The Shadow Realm is a technological place or a natural place? Well, I would assume it'd be more. It kind of be a combination of both because I don't think the shadows you can see them with technology as well as with the naked eye, obviously. But as far as going into the realm, I don't want to go into the realm to find out, honestly. So I would say
I
it's more of a
mean,
natural place. I think
I
it's another plane of being. I think maybe.
I've heard of physicists theorizing because we know antimatter exists. Is there a whole antimatter universe that we just can't perceive?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Now you're getting into perception. I mean, you're talking about perception. You got the first, second, and third dimensions, which everybody knows what those are. Nobody knows really what the fourth dimension is, even though it's been postulated that the fourth dimension is time.
It's not postulated. The fourth dimension is time.
Oh, is that what they're saying it is now? Because in
That
1980s it was
is,
not.
yeah. We live in 4 dimensions, 3 of space and 1 of time.
Okay,
The fifth dimension we don't.
then the fifth dimension is the figment of the imagination of the DC universe where Mxyzptlk lives. Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay.
As far as the stairs in the woods, I've never seen anything like that, obviously, but I guess I need to go out and do some reading, obviously.
It's.
So
I mean, the thing is, it's based on actual things where like cabins in the woods have fallen down and it just left staircases. And
huh.
people just started building scary stories based on that. But a lot of people think they're
Okay.
very true.
Okay. Now we're gonna go back to one we did last week. Me and Brandy touched on Waverly Hills. You sent me this little write up and stuff on this picture. Now we talked about it, and hey, I ain't going all the way, Rob. I am not going all the way over to England to ring hang her pictures. Okay, she's in England. I'm here. I ain't doing it.
I'm not going to
Dad's
rehang these
background is
pictures.
Dad's background is blurry because I don't want y'all to see my closet I'm stuck in. All right.
Listen, I didn't choose these pictures. They were put in this flat. Not my
Oh,
choice.
gotcha. All right. So this one, like I said, Waverly Hills. We talked about this last week. This one right here. We talked about this, and Brandy swears it's been gone through. She knew, or Krista, her friend of Bonds and Booze. She was with this guy when when he was one of her team. They were on the same paranormal team together, and this was one that he had caught, and it's never been debunked. It's never been anything. But as you can see, what you sent, we actually have a kind of a name with it now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Yeah.
more the more I look at it, and like I said, you gave me this, and the more I see that now, I can definitely see where it was coming from.
Yeah.
That's
And
uncanny.
especially that, I mean, obviously we can't see the full face, but the hair
Yeah,
definitely, even the hairstyle matches it.
yeah. I mean, it looks like there's a part right here, and her hair just flops over right there. Honestly, that until you show me that, I'd never seen an actual picture with this one to show somebody that might be in that picture. But to this, like I told Brandy last week, this one's right up there with the Amityville ghost to me. This is one of the
Now,
best ones I've ever seen.
I'm still not completely sure um, if it's true, but the story behind her that I had heard was that she was a nurse who committed suicide after like being impregnated by a doctor.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's the story. I'm not sure if it's true.
And that very
I
well could be. I mean, we don't know because, like I said, they didn't have any information on the any of the person. I don't know if they even tried to actually find a photo like somebody else did, obviously here. But that right there, yeah, I'm with Bristol. I'm sold on this one. This pick is real. Moon's right. She's in the pick. What she is, don't know, but she is there. And honestly, that face, the facial features and everything from this pick kind of lean to match that pick. You can almost see the eyebrows. If you zoom in close enough, you can almost see the eyebrows and such through there.
mhm.
So this one is, once again, I think it's real 100%. I don't doubt anything on this one. And it's one of those that you see it kind of like me with the once again with the Amityville picture. When I start getting the goosebumps looking at something, there's something there usually. I'm not saying I'm sensitive in any way, shape, or form, but I know what my eyes see.
Yeah. I can't see how anyone can
Okay,
like
you see what Bristol said, right?
murdered by the doctor.
Yeah,
That's even
that's
worse.
that would even
Scandalous.
add a little bit more credence to the picture too, if that's the case. If this happens to be her by the in that case, you know.
I'd be angrier if I was murdered.
Well, I think a lot of people would.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's a touch base on this. Now we're going to go back to TikTok. This one I have not seen this video before until today. I literally found it by accident, and I know nothing about it. Like I said, I love Cryptid University because they put stuff out there that you make your own decisions on it. You know, they don't add anything to it. They just say this is that, and you get it gets commented on. But this one, hmm. Now before we go any further, everybody saw what I saw, right? Something is out there, or someone is out there. Quite obviously, every animal in the on this road has stopped to look at it. Every single one of them. They all recognize it. They all see something there, and they're all alerting on it. What it is,
Hmm.
parts of it make me think. I'm gonna back it up just a little bit here. At this distance right here, it's even better to see it. But if you look at it right there, it looks like hey, somebody's got a coat on, and that's their pants, and so forth. I mean, can I tell you for sure? I no, I can't. But from that distance and that picture right there, that frame, it looks like a person with a coat. Now, don't get me wrong, whatever person this is, that looks like a big person, a very, very big person. But as we continue on, I'm gonna go and mute this so we ain't gotta listen to that stuff in the background. It moves to walk off, and I don't know if it's swinging arms naturally or if it's trying to make its arms swing like that. But you see how everything has stopped to watch it. Now keep watching the video now. What happens after that thing is well out of shot and everything starts moving again. And there goes a buck. Okay. Now, a buck is going to alert on stuff, and a buck is going to stay there motionless until he doesn't feel something's going to just outright reach out and grab him. So he was just on the other side of that tree right there, and he had an eyeball on that thing. I'll just say thing right now because I can't identify it. And until it got far enough away, probably into the other tree line over there, it wasn't moving. Once it was out of his sight and where he could conceivably see where it's at and make a break for it, he did. So person or creature, I can't say, but it was something, or that buck wouldn't have behaved like that, and neither would these doe or these fawns right here, because they were reacting off of her, and she didn't move at all. And I believe that's a fox up there. It's either a fox or I don't think it's a dog. I'm pretty sure it's a fox, but it didn't move either. And how many times do you see a fox and deer stay on the same path with each other, within sight of each other?
I mean, deer should have very well be scared of foxes. So
Well, they may not, but they also recognize them as a predator, and they're not going to stick around them either. And Rob, when we get onto this further on, you'll see the floating above the ground. They're going to zoom in. The guy zooms in here, see, and that's where I was saying. Now you can see where I was talking about with the. Let me back it up just a slight bit here.
yeah, to me, it just looks like a guy in jeans and a parka.
Yeah, that right there looks like a parka and pants, right? But I think what we're looking at is the majority of him is obscured by the grass. Because this is a little bit of a hill with grass right here, okay?
If I had my iPad out, I'd draw the figure for you.
Well, I don't like people drawing pictures for me. I want to find my own. Leave me alone. See, this is why I bring kids in to try and make sure they learn things the right way. All right, so you can
Where's
see though.
Waldo?
I don't know. You shouldn't ask where Waldo is. It's how Waldo was.
I don't know, because even then it kind of just looks like they look like they have a scarf on to me as they're walking away too.
Kinda,
So
yeah, yeah. And like I said, you see it walking now, and that distance right there. That's the part that gets me, the walking away, because as it's walking away, you don't see anything below the waist. You know what I mean? Because
mhm.
when it comes back and it starts walking, you can see somewhat of legs right there. But like I say, I can't tell for sure. I don't know if this thing will let me zoom in.
It just
No, don't want
walks
to do.
so similarly to from what I've seen, it looks like an old person hiking in a park.
And it very well could be. But now look at the arm swing. Old person ain't gonna arm swing like that. Are they trying to make it look like a different kind of walk?
Well, I mean, that's why I'm always a little bit critical of things that make the same kind of walking fashion as the what was it, the Robert Patterson one?
Yeah, yeah. Roger Patterson,
Roger
Patterson
Patterson
again.
one. Yeah, yeah. Because that's how a lot of people make their hoax Bigfoot
Yeah.
videos, is by walking like that.
See, I'm gonna bring this back again when it zooms in again. We're gonna look one more time at this thing right there. Now, see, could this be the shine of the sun? I mean, Rob's got it right. Kind of moving too fast for an old person. It's got the long arms, and the gait doesn't appear to be human to me. It really doesn't. And the arm swing is too long, and it's too pronounced. I mean, people walk. You've seen me walk out. You walk with a natural arm swing. Okay.
I've seen you walk all right.
Yeah. Well, it's a natural arm swing though. Whereas
Yeah, but
this arm
that's
swing looks natural, but he's so much bigger than anything else.
yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen people walk in that exact fashion, and it's usually when you're going down a hill kind of thing. Um,
But look
but
at him. He's not going down a hill.
yeah,
When he turns and walks, now you see how the legs kind of disappear behind the grass. That makes me think that he was already behind the grass somewhat, and it obscured him, which gave it that brown tint. So to me, this is harder to see than this one. Obviously, this one right here
yeah.
at the normal at the normal zoom is easier to see everything. You see
I
what I
will
mean? I
accept that
mean,
it is hard to tell exactly what it is.
when he turns, you see it turns, and it
Yeah,
doesn't turn like a human does. He turns and kind of shuffle turns. You see what I mean?
that's why I think it's an old person.
I don't.
I don't know.
It's covering way
I
too much ground to be just an old person walking away. Well, of course, I can't tell exactly what ground there is.
that's the biggest problem, is that because of the sun shining and the blurry images, it's hard to tell anything. Like what I see is an old person just hiking. And that might be because the old people I see here in the UK are a lot more active than the old people in the US. Um,
Yeah, see, and but like Roger said, what gets him is whatever it is looks like it has tan pants on.
yeah,
But I'm
that's
wondering if it's because it's behind that grass right there. See if I can back it up again where you can get it. All
see
right,
my problem
so
when it turns is almost like it is wearing a jacket. Like it looks like
yeah,
there's a
it looks
difference
like a
between the
jacket and
hand
pants right there,
and
doesn't
the
it?
yeah. But when it turns, it looks like you can see the hand being different from the sleeve.
Yeah, but you can also you can see the hand being different from the sleeve. You said.
That's what I thought I could see, but
Um,
come on, play it in slow mo.
yeah. Well, I mean, I look at it like Moon says down there. The fox decided to risk being trampled by deer and came out in the open for a better chance to escape. You know, that's kind of the way I look at it. That's why I was saying you don't see that fox would not be on that road with them deer. It would be in the woods somewhere. But it's alerting on this thing. It is alerting on this thing.
They're just as confused as us.
Yeah, I'm with. I would say I'm with Roger, but I think it's too small to really be a coyote, though. Which makes me think fox. So, yeah, the arm swing is similar from what I could tell, Rob. Arm swing looks similar. Let's get it back to the zoomed in portion here. Okay, so there we're at that, and yeah, I mean it looks like pants at that point right there, but when he turns and walks, I don't see any sleeve at all.
Maybe Bigfoot just likes wearing pants.
Could be. Who knows? See, this is still though at an I don't know phase because this is my very first time ever seeing this one, guys. Maybe this will be a little bit better as far as. Doesn't look like he's zoomed in as close on this one. See. See, it's still too far away for us to see, but see the reflection on the head? That's the other thing that kind of throws me a little bit off. I'm kind of with Gary, but man, that's a big guy. If it's a man walking, which is everything kind of leans that way right now, I'm going to say it's a big guy.
It's really the look of clothes that make it very much seem like a human then.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. Now we're sitting here talking human, okay? Get it back to here. We're back to talking human side. And it's a human with clothes. And it looks like a human with clothes right there. Mm-hmm. Okay? Why? I don't know anything about where this place is at. I don't know where it was taken. I don't know any of that stuff. Like I said, this just came straight from TikTok as part of Cryptid University's files. And it says Bigfoot caught on camera. Well, that's all I know about. Okay. So here's the other question then on that. If it is a man, a person, a big person, unless he's got many, many layers of clothes on, which looks like he really probably shouldn't judge. That's got to be late spring, midsummer, probably, judging from the size of the fawns. But here, the smell test comes out. Why? Why would somebody do that other than just say, "Look, we got out there"? Well, if people are trying to fool somebody, it usually gets called out real quick. And I don't know if this has or hasn't because we're all calling it out because it looks like a guy with a jacket on and pants, but he's just a big guy.
Unless it was just like a joke kind of thing that was originally made that ended up someone thought they were being serious. I don't know.
Well, and then, like Moon said right there, the grass thinner towards the top makes dark objects appear lighter. And that's what I'm saying. Is that grass right there as well?
Yeah.
At his leg. Is there grass there obscuring the view? It's hard to tell in this video, obviously.
Either it's a big guy or it's Bigfoot wearing pants.
And I don't, like I said, but when we watch it and he turns to walk, when he turns to walk away, he steps out. I don't think there's, I'm trying to see here, you can see, because I thought maybe it's further back you can see it, but it looks like you could see his legs more when he walks away. So watch when he turns to walk away here. See how the dark goes down further now? When he turned to walk, it went down the hips further than what it did before. So I can argue all the way around on this one. It looks like the grass is dead, but when he walks away, his lower body, once he goes to crest that hill more, his lower body is completely obscured. But when he walks between blades of grass, you can see darker parts going further down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I'm just still under the opinion that this isn't really worth even trying to.
Well, we can't debunk or prove it one way or the other because,
No, I
quite
know.
frankly,
I'm just saying
it.
it's not good enough evidence to even try to debunk
Well,
it.
no, we can't get enough of a definition on him to verify it. But that's when you got to start using deductive reasoning and say, okay, number one, why is this person doing it other than just get hits and likes on TikTok? Two, did it get uploaded to TikTok originally, or is this from earlier? Judging from what I'm seeing, this was an actual phone camera because of the pixelation once you zoom in.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're talking about what era of camera was it? Was it first generation, second generation, third generation? Yeah, it's got to be a minimum of 5 megapixels, is what I'm thinking right now, just looking at it. But just the movement, I'm with you. The arms and the gait don't look quite human, but could they have been learned and done, just for this particular spot? And how are you going to predict that a fox and three deer, 4 deer counting the buck are going to be there where you need them? So jury's out on this one. As far as I'm concerned, jury's out. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Gary, if they were just alerting on it though, wouldn't they just kind of look at it, especially being out in the open? If it had been at night, I could understand them hightailing it, but they were alerting on it because they froze. They
Apparently,
literally
the footage
froze.
was from 2009.
2009.
Yep.
So we're talking minimum 5 megapixel camera. Yeah, Ristel, I'm the same way. I don't know how he was that close. If these are wild animals per se, or if this is a park of some sort, or they're used to him being around, I don't know. I can't tell you. So, but that buck sure as heck that ran across sure as heck wasn't involved in it. He didn't. He didn't want to be around nobody. All right,
Oh,
so we're
someone.
gonna pull that back. I'm gonna
Okay,
say the jury's out.
I'm gonna send you the blog where someone actually details a lot of what's happening in this video. And
Okay, send it to
apparently
me, and we will.
yeah, the camera
Apparently, what?
person kind of dug himself into a hole.
How?
Um,
Well, read it.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't look into it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, send it to me as well, and then we'll cover that on um, another episode later on sometime. All right, now we're going to get into what you want to talk about. Okay, last week, a couple weeks ago, can't remember which one it was now. Me and Abby, or me and Brandy, I should say, we're going over skunk ape pictures. Okay.
This was a point of contention with me and my roommate against you guys.
Okay. Now, a lot of people say we don't know what it was. It's awful long. We figured out where the hand was down here at the bottom, where the hand kind of comes through in the picture and everything. You can see it right there. And I said the way it looked kind of like an orangutan face. And other people were like, oh, the hair's wrong, this, that, the other thing. Well, we kind of did a little checking ourselves too. And I'm going to see if I can get both of them together on the same one, though, because when we put this orangutan up with it, you can see the hair kind of matches. The hair itself would kind of match. And when it comes to the face of this orangutan here would almost kind of match. Definitely the arms would match with the length and such.
Mm-hmm. And the hands also match. At least when I was looking at pictures of them.
Yeah. So when you put them together, I'm gonna see if I can do this now. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna pull this one down. This is me experimenting myself here. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to do this and this. We're going to turn. Come on, computer. I didn't think I was going to be doing this, but I'm going to do it. All right, we're going to copy. And one. Copy. That one. I probably should have done this before everything, huh? But it is what it
It's
is.
fine.
Y'all make fun of me. I don't care. It's okay. All right. So I'm just going to share this paint that I just put everything on the same palette with. Okay.
Wait, did you just used
Yeah, I just
MS
put
Paint?
everything together on the same palette so you can see all of them with each other. Okay. Sharing the window. Where's paint? Paint. All right. Now, I know it's not the most ideal because this is just straight out copy and paste over and such. See if I can get it to zoom in some more here. All right. As I zoom that in, it's not great with that one, obviously, but you can see the fur is all basically the same, right? Just a different color, but that's because of the flash. We already determined changing color is flash.
Yep,
All right.
that was something that, and I told you this, but my roommate was very much calling out the fact the color isn't right, as you guys were saying, and she's like, nothing looks right. It's a flash photo.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and even the eyes, um,
It's
eyes can
telltale that it was
kind
a
of,
flash.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, so it's a
and
flash. We fully admit that. Our biggest issue is that with this or picture of the orangutans, right? You put them together. It's not as easily. I should have put it between them, but that picture right there versus that picture, these could easily be mistaken. But that
yeah.
is a big orangutan, though.
Well, we don't have the full like scaling,
Well, true,
but
but
and the
but
fact that this area of Florida and Florida itself is known for having primates, especially orangutans, escape.
yep,
Um, it looks like an orangutan.
yeah.
It obviously didn't attack. Was it a woman who took the picture? I don't know. Listen, I
Yeah,
am your
it was a woman. This thing would come up to her back area of her place in Florida. And I can't remember if it's Clearwater, if I remember right, but
mhm.
um, it would come back to her and it would take apples off her porch.
Yeah, like and orangutans specifically eat more fruits than anything. And I feel
Yeah.
like if it was like a skunk ape or a Bigfoot, they wouldn't be just like stealing apples.
Well,
Um,
and remember that the belief is that Bigfoot is also herbivore as well. Well, not is omnivore is what we should say.
yeah. Um,
Whereas I don't know that orangutans would eat meat at all.
I don't think they. I think they can, but I think their primary diet is like gorillas.
Apples.
They can eat meat, but they're mainly vegans. Um, but I don't know. This is my main thing is that it looks very much like an orangutan. You
Well,
know,
yeah, but
orangutans
like
escape in
Bristol
the
says,
area.
you see what Bristol stated right here. I mean, they said the same thing. So that's supposed the the ape experts. It's tough to say.
Yeah,
So I mean, I don't know how we would ever you know get rid of that to
and
pull
to
that.
me, it would make more sense that it never appeared again if, like, say, it escaped from a zoo and they caught it.
Well, yeah, and supposedly it never did appear again. So
But that's just me. If like my mind's gonna immediately think, and you know that I still believe in Bigfoot, but if it looks like
yeah,
an orangutan, orangutans escape in the area.
yep,
It wasn't an aggressive creature like a lot of people consider both skunk ape and Bigfoot to be. I'm
okay.
gonna go for orangutan.
Well, yeah, and most people will probably look at that and say that. In fact, I did kind of like Bristol. I did for years because I mean that was taken. I want to say it was in the 2010, 2009, 2005 time frame, something like that. It's been a
Hmm.
while, and it was one of those that I always thought, okay, it's just mistaken identity. But I always told myself that the hair's awful dark, and I don't recall ever seeing a whole lot of bottom canines coming out of a orangutan when they open their mouth.
I still don't know because I honestly haven't seen anything about the photo being shown to any ape experts. I would like to see it, but every time I tried looking it up, it's just, oh look, here's a picture of the skunk ape and nothing else.
Yeah, and that's the way it is out on the web. Why do you think we have such a rough time every week trying to pull up stuff for this show? Because it's just junk out there. I try to get a little bit of a research behind whatever we're getting, but there's a lot of times there's just nothing with it. You like those videos; they're just out on TikTok. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, I've got Crypto University to fall back on, but I mean, we're not talking about who actually took the video. We're not talking about any specifics, any scientific knowledge of the video or pictures. The vast majority of the pictures, throw it out there, and that's what's there. You have to go with what's there, what's
and
there,
the
and
only
I'm able
articles
to
you
look
get are
some
like
stuff up.
tabloids.
Yeah, and I can look some stuff up on even on Wikipedia. Wikipedia's got a lot, but that's all user generated. It's not necessarily fact. A lot of it, if it's cited, yeah, you could consider it fact. But like a lot of the ghost pictures I look up out there, I go out to Wikipedia to see if there's an entry for them at all, and that's how I found a lot of them that were debunked, and they just aren't. The debunking part is not part of the actual original photo that you're looking at on the internet. You have to go research into it to find that.
Sorry, I was looking at the. Was it a Monster Quest episode?
What's that on the?
Yeah, the skunk ape.
Yeah, they talked to a bunch of zoologists on Monster Quest. So you talk about you had the original Monster Quest Bigfoot episode that actually talked about skunk apes. It really did. And then you had and I can't. It wasn't Sarmiento. God, maybe it was Sarmiento that they talked to on that one. I'm trying to remember the name now. I watched it the other day too, and I can't just because I watched that. I watch Monster Quest as a background noise at work half the time because it's fun. I just like having something like that going. But uh, that's another thing. All the Monster Quests that I watch, I try to watch all the Bigfoot ones, and every single one of them seem to come up with something new every time.
Yeah, I just know the last Monster Quest episode I've watched was, you know, okay, you know that one in West Virginia where it was they tried to say it's like some alien with like I, let me find a picture of it. But
Ain't the Mothman, is it? Or is it a
no, it's not the
Skinwalker type thing?
Mothman. It's another thing of like almost a misidentified owl because very much the first iteration of like the people who actually saw it pretty much described a female barn owl.
Oh
But
Lord, your sister's on there now.
oh no. Um but as like people went on, this like one guy kept pushing the fact that oh, it was an alien and like it had a
Yeah.
metal and it like was floating and everything and I'm like, "What?"
Well,
Um
and that's half of how do you put it? That's half of the thing of the Monster Quest. They didn't pick and choose. They pick and choose what they did, obviously, but they didn't just center on Bigfoots or ghosts or I remember the giant snakes, the anacondas and such. They talked about the giant crocodiles, and it's it's so hard to say, because when we were talking about the Dogman photos a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, and I showed the one that looked like a feline coming up behind off of a hill, and we sit there and started talking about just like what Russell's talking about. Florida has all the great ape escapes and such. So many other areas around the South have escaped big cats too. They're still talking about even Texas to this day is still talking about there's some of the quote unquote Tiger Kings escaped cats in that same general area where around Brown Springs. That's a supposed. Now, have we ever seen anything? I've never seen a track, but as Gary can vouch for, there's sometimes you think there's something big out there looking for you. So it be one of those quite easily. So anyway,
Um, it's
how's your
like the
test for under fire?
huh?
How's your trial under fire today?
Good. Yes,
Threw you
good.
off in the deep end. When I didn't even give you any hard ones yet.
Give me some hard ones. I'm
That'll
listen.
be the
I'm
next
just
time.
saying.
That'll be the next time. Don't worry. I have a feeling this won't be the last time because this is going to turn into something a little fun. And this is just a fun thing in the afternoons. I don't care about, we're having a blast. Rissel's having a blast. Everybody's getting on there and talking about what we're showing because this is why we do this show so everybody can give their views of it.
Mm-hmm.
Half the stuff I try to find, I don't even want us to know anything about it before we go in. I want us to go in blind and say, okay, what do we got here? And we've caught a lot from the audience before that, oh, yeah, maybe it's that. Oh, yeah, maybe it's that. So, wait, you had a pair of Kodiak bear cubs found walking on the road in North Florida. Where the hell did they
I
escape
believe it.
from?
They have everything in Florida.
Okay, we're going to start asking questions about Florida, all right? We already did once, but that's not the point. But anyway, so um, that's there's a couple of these things that I'm just like, yeah, we could go with it. We could just accept it. But there's just too many out there. I mean, guys, you would not believe. Go out on if you're on TikTok, go out there and look at some of the stuff that's on TikTok, and you just say, "Well, I know why they didn't pick that one. Well, I know why they didn't pick that one." If I just want to come out and immediately grab this and go, "Oh heck, here we go. Let's do that." Then so be it. Are you prepped? Did you get yours? Very well. See, I knew I raised good kids. But there's so many out there that would make you immediately just throw that on because they're just so out there and so unbelievable. It's not even funny. So
I still think about the Ningen.
what's that?
The
The Ningen?
Ningen. The the one.
We'll get Donnie Cho on here to talk about that one day.
I'm not even talking about the folklore one. I'm just talking about the one that I sent you. The the blob with legs.
Yeah, that was that was weird. But anyway,
Have you ever thought about talking about the bloop at any point?
about what?
The bloop. The thing
If I
that
knew what
people
the heck that
thought
was, I'd tell
was
you.
you don't know what it is?
No.
You need to look more into underwater stuff. People thought it
Why?
was this. There was this really big noise. People thought like, oh, it's some like massive undiscovered creature. It was an iceberg crashing,
Well,
like
yeah. I
breaking off and
mean,
crashing.
then you're dealing with hydrosonics because you talk about also when that what was it when that sub imploded and everybody was doing the search for it and everything like that. The Navy knew already that it had imploded. They heard the sound via their underwater sonics. They heard the implosion, and they said after 5 days and everything, they said, "Yeah, it sounded like what a typical implosion sounds like." And we're like, you couldn't have told somebody that 3 days prior. That's the Navy for you. If
Yeah,
that's classified information, that's classified technology they're using. That's why they didn't want to let it out.
the thing with the bloop is I'm pretty sure they couldn't figure out exactly what it was because it was
Yeah.
such a big chunk of ice. They didn't have anything else. So they didn't know what it was, not even the scientists, until a similar sound ended up being recorded years later. Uh, that was like crashing off.
Uh oh.
Oh, blob with legs.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Hang on. All right, hang on here. I'm trying to get this thing up.
Did you know that in Victorian London they thought there were a bunch of hogs living in the sewers?
Really?
Yep. I was
Wonder
looking up
why.
a bunch of urban legends at one point for
There you go.
the UK, and that's the main thing.
There's your blob with legs. Now you were saying something about this being the Ningen.
People say that's the Ningen, and I'm just like, that looks so stupid. Obviously, it has to be a joke. It has to be.
Well, it's completely and utterly fake. I don't care what anybody says. That's obviously
No, yeah, obviously.
the white. The white is not the same shade of white as the glacier behind it, or the stuff that's underneath it. And the fake shadow they got there is just almost like the sun was straight over it. Which anybody knows if you're up there, it's never going to be directly straight over it.
That's why it's funny.
So,
but
okay, I don't know what a
then
shmoo
for
is.
me,
What's a shmoo? Bristol's like, they look like a shmoo. I don't know. I don't know what a shmoo is. It looks to me like it should be a Star Wars character.
it's from a look it up. I just looked it up, and yes, it does.
Real. Yeah, it's real, Moon. It's real.
But then I want you to imagine if something like that existed.
Oh yeah, that
Just
would throw everybody
imagine,
completely for a loop.
like, oh, they couldn't find a Bigfoot, which is theoretically way more possible, but then imagine that thing existed and people actually thinking that exists.
Yeah.
Like, there is the more realistic version of the Ningen, but that thing's hilarious.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, if you look right here, just as we're looking at it, okay, this one part is blurred, but the rest is really not. It's like a solid blur right across here for some reason. All of it's blurred, but this is actually opaquing out the stuff behind it. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. So, other than don't ever make me look at that again.
It's funny.
It's what?
It's funny.
All right, guys, that's pretty much it for today. I got a lot of work I got to get done, and my daughter's going to try and make me sit here forever, and I ain't going to get no work done. I got a truck to rebuild, and I got a dadgum something sort of piece of furniture I got to go pick up. So, yay me.
Speaking of which, I also have to look up furniture to pick up too.
So, there we go. It was fun. Abby, did you have a blast?
Yes.
We may give this a shot again next week, see what we can do with it. How's that? Because
Maybe
next week I have my. What?
Around the summer and fall time, they actually have ghost tours of Brighton. Maybe I should go on one of those. And then I can bring back stories.
Yeah.
I could have told you the stories about my flat, but I'll tell you those later.
Yeah, that's for later on. So anyway, I'm always about a ghost hunt, obviously, and I've talked to my buddy that has access to the the old hospital over in Mineral Wells where the Haunted Hill House is at. He looks like we'll be able to set up something there pretty soon. I hope.
Without me there?
Well, it is what it is. I don't know what I'm looking at with this place yet. So, but the people that own it are actual ghost hunters too. So we may actually end up going with them into it again. So,
at the very least, take my sister with you.
Oh, she wouldn't let me do it any other way after I took you to the bar. So, thanks guys for showing up. We'll probably look at it again next week, maybe about this time, and we'll see what we can do. Until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow night with special guest Jason McLean in here with me. This is going to be interesting because me and him, we got quite the same. Well, no, we don't have the same world views at all, but it'll be fun. So, and we promise not to get political. Maybe y'all have fun. We will see y'all next time.
Thanks. Bye.